Hello students, welcome back to our third BSc Botany classes. The topic for today's discussion is Paper 5 Taxonomy and Economic Botany. So, we'll talk about Ethnobotany and Economic Botany today. The learning objective here will be to study the distinguishing features, locally available species, and economic importance of families of plants, and the learning outcome is expected to be like students will be familiar with the unique characteristics and economically important plants of the families, and most important is they will acquire the skill of identifying and assigning plants to the respective families. Now, let's start with our topic of discussion. Now, ethnobotany is a branch of ethnobiology that studies how people of a particular region and culture make use of native or indigenous plants. It thus investigates the interrelations between man and plants and their knowledge, the knowledge that man has about the traditional plants that are there. Okay, before we delve into our topic, we must first know the name of this eminent personality. Dr. S.K. Jain is known as the father of Indian ethnobotany. I would urge the students to please learn this name. So let's see what's there. Ethnobotanical knowledge is very ancient. This is very important. It's very ancient. Fine. Providing information regarding the traditional use of plant wealth, which can be utilized in integrated tribal development. See, plants are a gift of nature to us, but we should know how to make use of it. Make use of it without destroying ecosystem, without destroying them. We should know how to make the best use of it by protecting them as well. Okay, it throws light on certain unknown useful plants and new uses of many known plants which can be exploited for developing new sources for some plant products and agro-based industries. It can also be considered as an interdisciplinary science and has relevance to sociology, anthropology, taxonomy, phytochemistry, archaeology, ecology, agriculture, medicine, linguistics, and quite a number of it. So you can understand that ethnobotany is such a platform which integrates so many branches of study. See, you get to have taxonomy over here, which is concerned with the naming of the plants, its nomenclature, assigning the plants to the respective families. Then you can also have photo phytochemistry over here, which will include the analysis of its chemical nature, archaeology, ecology, agriculture, and so much of it. What are the various aspects of ethnobotany, right? So, due to its interdisciplinary nature and socioeconomic aspects, ethnobotany has relevance with problems of nutrition, healthcare, and life support system, social customs, mythological association or faith in plants, cottage industries, economic upliftment, conservation, of biodiversity and sustainable use of plant resources. Now, these last few words are very, very important: conservation of biodiversity and sustainable use of plant resources. If we know, if we have a proper knowledge about our plant wealth, we can really make the best use of these plants, which will help us indirectly in promoting sustainable development and will also in turn help us in conserving biodiversity. If we conserve biodiversity, this means what? We are actually making our future more and more secured. When we talk about ethnic groups in India, there are about 200 tribes, sub-tribes, clans, and some other ethnic groups in India. Tribal people have the knowledge about the utility of many plant species which are unknown to the modern society. The medicinal plants are almost the exclusive source of drugs for the majority of world population even today. India is, a land of diversity. It has got quite a number of, rather a huge number of ethnic groups, and is very rich in its biodiversity. Okay, it has got age old heritage of medicinal plants, and has got a lot of heritage filled history for treatment of various diseases and promotion of health. The branch of ethnobotany, which deals with the traditional systems of medicine or folklore medicines, is called medico-ethnobotany. Okay, it is called medico-ethnobotany. Now, see, ethnomedicinal plants are used for the treatment of diseases and disorders like diarrhea, dysentery, fever, headaches, dermatological disorders or skin disorders, boils and blisters. So many are there. Okay, rheumatism, gout, piles, jaundice, a lot more to it. A whole lot of a list is given over here. Apart from this, also, you have many more to add on to this list. Okay, the ethnomedicinal data will serve as a useful source of information for the chemists, pharmacologists, and practitioners of herbal medicines for detection and isolation of bioactive compounds used in modern medicines. Now, you see, ethnobotany has huge similarity or relevance with natural resources, which provides raw materials for agroforestry. Okay, ethnobotanical studies have helped in revealing numerous germplasm stocks of cultivated plants and vegetables. Fine. Ethnobotany and conservation of, now we'll move to ethnobotany and conservation of natural resources. See, it is also helpful in conservation of natural resources as well. Now, the efficacy of a number of our phytopharmaceuticals derived from plants such as atropine. You all have heard of atropine. What does it do? It dilates the pupil, right? It's a pupil dilator, barberin, used in gastrointestinal disorders, caffeine, digitoxin, emetin, ephedrine, morphine, papain, quinine, reserpine, vinblastine, vinstin, all these type of uh, all these type of pharma phytopharmaceuticals derived from plants are extremely popular in the community of not only tribal people but in the community of common man as well. Bioactive compounds such as artemisinin, okay, taxol, hypericin, gossypol, all these, all these triggered the interest in medicinal plants all over the world. Ethnobotany is a study of relationship between people and plants. This is what we have discussed so far. This one line actually summarizes the entire discussion carried out so far. This interdisciplinary field includes studying plants as wild foods and as agricultural crops. Fine. As constructs for houses and modes of transportation, as baskets, pottery and art, as clothing and types of weaving, medicines and alternative methods for healing, and in the context of cultural myths and religious ceremonies. Fine. Now, research topics address complex issues, including the cultural consequences of the extinction of a particular plant species on the diet of a culture, impacts of acculturation on a culture's uses of plants, and the transmission of ethnobotanical knowledge from one generation to the next. Now, see, this table here represents botanical some plants with their botanical names. These are economically extremely important along with their family parts used and economic uses. So let's start with Arachis hypogaea. This is a very famous plant commonly known as crown nut. It belongs to the family of Papilionaceae. Which parts are used? We all know it is the underground parts that are used. Okay, they are the nuts. Underground nuts are used here. Basic importance of these plants are oil extraction. Okay, oil is used for the purpose of cooking and in manufacture of vanaspati. Poor grade oil is used in the manufacture of soap. Oil cakes are used as fertilizers and cattle feed. Fine. Cocos nucifera or coconut. Who doesn't know about this? It belongs to the family Palmae. The parts used here are the endosperm. It is used for oil extraction as well. Coconut oil is very famous. It's used in cosmetic purpose. Used in it's also used as an edible oil. It's used in soap, shampoo, shaving cream, and all different types of cosmetics. It's a very good lubricant, and oil cakes are also used as a very good cattle feed. Next, we come to Sesama indicum. The common name is sesame. It belongs to the family Bignoniaceae, and the seeds here are used for the purpose of oil extraction. These oils are used in cooking as well as in medicinal purposes. The inferior or a little lower grade oil is used in manufacture of perfumes and soaps, lubricants, fuel for lamps and all. Finally, oil cake is used for cattle feed. For all these three, see, this is very common, right? Oil cake that's produced is used as a very good cattle feed. Next, we'll come to fibers. We all know jute, coconut, jute, cotton, and coconut are very good source of fiber, right? So let's start with cotton. Gossypium is the scientific name. Cotton belongs to Malvaceae family. the parts used as surface fibers on the seeds. It's used in manufacture of fine quality pure cotton fabrics. It has got a very wide use in medicines. Okay, absorbent cotton is used in medicines. Absorbent as well as non-absorbent cottons are used in research purposes in research laboratories. In combination with other fibers, it is also used in manufacturing of clothes. It is used in manufacturing of clothes directly as well as in combination with other fibers. You must have all heard of like mixed fiber, they say. They mix some other fibers with cotton to manufacture clothes. Then we come to jute. Corchorus capsularis. It belongs to Teleaceae family. Fibers associated with phloem of vasculature or cortex. Okay. Oil is extracted from this, used in making cosmetics like shampoos, soap, and all these toiletries and toilet goods and cosmetics. Oil also acts as a very good lubricant, and oil cake that is used for cattle feed. Now, this jute fiber here has huge economic uses. You all know it is used for making bags, making fabrics also. Jute is a very good absorbent of water, right? It's used in making those gunny bags. So jute has got multiple uses. Then we move on to Cocos nucifera once again. We had just discussed about its use, the uses of its endosperm. Now we will talk about the uses of its mesocarp. Okay, the mesocarp of the fruit gives us coconut coir. This coir is used in making ropes, doormats, mattresses, uh, the sofa cushions, bed cushions. So it has got multiple uses. Then we come to beverages. Beverages are that what we drink. Fine. Coffee, tea, all these are very famous beverages. Coming to coffee or Coffea arabica, hmm, it belongs to Rubiaceae family. The beans are used, coffee beans, roasted coffee beans are used. It has 0.75 to 1.5% caffeine in it. Hmm. The stimulating principle, caffeine is a stimulant, okay? So, this percentage of caffeine is a stimulating principle in Coffea arabica. It has got volatile oil, it has antioxidants, and it helps to burn fat. It's a very healthy beverage, right? Then we come to Camellia sinensis. The leaves are used, it's one of the most famous beverage all over the world, especially in India. Stimulating beverage with medicinal properties. It is also packed with antioxidants, okay, and than it has got less caffeine than coffee. Fine. Now, it has got a very important role in boosting our immunity. Okay, it boosts our immunity. So, tea not only satisfy our uh, our our tired bodies, it also help in boosting our immunity and reduces risk of heart attack and stroke. You all know, see, tea and coffee are very easily available, easy to afford, and very common as well. See, these common plants contain so much of health benefits as well, isn't it? Next, we have Theobroma cacao or cacao. Theobroma cacao, it belongs to the family Malvaceae. cocoa seeds are used? It is used in preparing, you all know that, chocolates. Okay. It is also used in making cocoa butter and also often used in making cocoa drinks. Multiple uses it had. It has very famous, very widespread use in bakery industry, all the rest of it. Fine. Confectionaries, so huge uses. Now we come to paper and pulp. Okay. Bambusa and Eucalyptus globulus are two very important examples here. Okay. Parts used are stem and leaves in case of Bambusa. It's used in manufacture of light articles of furniture for construction purpose. We all know manufacture of fishing rods, implements, mats, chair, seat. Bamboo splits are used in basket and brushes making. Bamboo fiber is very important source of paper industry. Okay. Now, now we'll come to Eucalyptus of Myrtaceae family. The leaves are used here. It's used in the production of perfumes from volatile oil. Eucalyptus oil is very famous. That's present in the leaves. Eucalyptus oil is extracted from the dried leaves. It's used in the treatment of nose and throat disorders, malaria and fever. Australian species are important source of gum, used for used for throat trouble and in tanning. Now we'll move on to sugars and starch. Sugarcane is a very important example here. Saccharum officinarum of Gramineae family. The parts used are stem. It has got multiple important uses. The stem is solid with rough rind and fibrous strands containing 80% of juice and sugar content. Sugarcane juice is dark gray in color. Sweet liquid containing sucrose, protein, gum, acids, etc. It keeps us hydrated in the months of terrific summer. The molasses is good foodstuff used in cooking and candy making. In manufacture of rum and industrial alcohol. Bagasse and molasses, valuable cattle field. Okay, these are very useful cattle field plant as thatch and livestock fodder. These are the plants are also used for the purpose of thatching the house. Okay, and also as livestock fodder. They are also used as in biofuel production in Brazil. Next important example is beetroot or Beta vulgaris of Chenopodiaceae. Parts used are edible taproot and leaves. Fine. It's a very important source of sugar. It's used as a vegetable, the first and foremost and most famous use. It is grated in salad. Leaves are used as substitute for spinach. Beet juice is a remedy for anemia. It reduces inflammation, promotes cardiovascular health. It contains betanin. Okay, it contains betanin. It's used as food colorant to improve flavor of tomato paste, uh, sauces, desserts. See, it's a natural color, so it's always advisable to use beetroot extracts for coloring the food instead of using chemical colors. In preparation of wine and beetroot is rich in bioactive compounds as well. Next is potato or Solanum tuberosum of Solanaceae. Parts used are stem tuber. It is it is a very important starch producing plant used for commercial production of starch. Potato starch is used in textile industry. Okay, as a source of glucose, dextrin, and in manufacture of industrial. This is tea. Okay, manufacture of industrial alcohol. Tapioca is another important example of Euphorbiaceae. Maniote esculenta. Parts used as starchy tuberous roots. Okay, it is used as vegetable in boiled form, mainly used for extracting cassava starch called tapioca, which is used for food, animal feed, and industrial purposes. Starch reacts with acid to produce nitrostarch, which is the safest of explosives. Tapioca starch is used for importing of this purpose of manufacture of hand grenades. Then finally we come to summary. So this is your take home message. So in summary, how can we summarize the importance of ethnobotany now? It provides information regarding the traditional use of plant wealth which can be utilized in integrated tribal development. This is very important. The utilization should have a very good prospect. See how bright the prospect is. Integrated tribal development. It throws light on certain unknown useful plants and new uses of many known plants which can be exploited for developing new sources for some plants, plant products, and agro based industries such as food processing, fibers and flours, cotton baskery, extraction of edible and non edible oils, gums, resins, tannin, dye extraction for the upliftment of tribal communities. Okay, economic botany here, what will it do? It will give us a lot of information about plants that can be exploited for economic upliftment of the nation, of our tribes, of mankind. Edible oils are obtained, sugars and starch, fiber, paper and pulp, beverages. All these are obtained from economically important plants. So now it's time to evaluate our level of understanding and knowledge. I would suggest each one of you to answer these questions yourself first and then look back into the answers. Okay. Tea belongs to which family? Theaceae. And please know the scientific names of these plants as well. Okay. Jute belongs to which family? It is Teleaceae here. So, along with the families, please know the scientific names of these plants as well. So, these are the few references. Thank you so much for your kind attention. Goodbye.